Hey, it's Logan Renee of the SoulKation podcast, a place where you will learn how to shape your own success, how to maximize your unique gifts, and how to maintain your self-love. For more in-depth tools, head on over to loganrenee.com. Everyone, welcome back to another episode of the SoulKation podcast. I'm super excited about this interview because I have AD Dolphin with me today. I'm going to coin him as the weight loss specialist, the lifestyle transformation coach, but he's also the founder of Dherbs, which is a company that uses herbs to create a clear pathway to excellent health. Number one product is the Full Body Cleanse, which I'm currently on right now. And you've probably seen him on shows like Steve Harvey, The Real, Dish Nation, Page 6 TV, Sister Circle, and so many more. I mean, he's pretty famous, people. He's helped celebrities like Anthony Anderson, Niecy Nash, Sherry Shepherd, and our very own Melanie Trice, who was on the podcast a couple weeks ago, lose a tremendous amount of weight. He's changing lives all over the world. AD, welcome to the SoulKation podcast.
Hey, how you doing?
I am excited about this interview. I've had questions across the country come in for you, so this is about to be a great interview.
No problem.
Excited? So can you share with the audience who you were in high school? Did you think that you would be where you were today? Was it the basketball dream? How did it go from playing overseas in Australia to the Dherbs specialist?
Wow, that's a good question. You know what it is? First of all, I always tell people, you got to stay open in life. When you stay open in life, you'll actually find your true calling. So I think that's really key and that's essential. But as far as me is, I always knew that I would run my own business. I played basketball, but that was just a means to help me get to where I wanted to be because I enjoyed it so much. And that's the another thing. You gotta, whatever you do in life, you have to enjoy it. If you enjoy it, you would truly be successful at it. But I knew I would somewhat be here, especially because of my family history. Everyone in my family has their own company. My sister has a company called IQ Air. It's a monster, huge, big company. My grandfather had companies. My father had companies. We've always been, we're an entrepreneur type of family. So I knew I would be here, but exactly here, no. But I knew I would be somewhere. Okay. So, I mean, did you thought you were going to be like Jordan? We always shoot for the stars. He was definitely, him and Kobe was, they were on my dart board. I was throwing darts at them every day, one day. But yeah, so that was definitely anything that I do, I aspire to try to be the best.
So Dherbs has over 400 products.
Right.
You coined that's doing very well. Which one is your favorite?
It's probably the Full Body Cleanse. And the reason being is because that opens your body up to everything else that we have. The cleaner your system is, the more effective the herbs are going to be and the more effective you're going to be. So I would definitely say that's the starting point. That's the best product that we have. And that's where you want to begin. You want to clean out your system and then begin putting the right foods and nutrients and vitamins in your system so you can see how strong and how capable you can really be.
What is a good regimen to have as far as after you finish the Full Body Cleanse? What vitamins should you be putting back into your body?
You know what? I would say you should eat your vitamins. And what I mean by that is eat well. So adding, fresh fruits, vegetables, raw nuts, and raw seeds to your diet as much as possible is key. You know what I mean? I always tell people, vitamins, you got to kind of remember most vitamins on the market, they're not really quality products. They're really playing on us. So you have to make sure that if you are getting vitamins or minerals and things like that, it's coming from a natural source. A lot of times it's coming from an artificial source, and those are the products that we're actually buying.
Well, Ashley from Houston asks, she's about to start on the Full Body Cleanse. So she was like, how is it truly cleaning out your system? Like, what is it washing your colon? Is it washing your kidneys, your bladder, your spleen, your lungs? Like,
to some degree it is. And just kind of what you mentioned just before that, the colon. So you got to remember, so when you take these particular capsules, you're going to notice, and what day are you on?
I'm on day 15.
So you already know what I'm talking about as far as you're noticing that you're going to the bathroom more. Yeah. And you're noticing that process, when you do go to the restroom, is easier. It's simpler. It's faster. It's not as difficult as it was prior to the cleanse. So that's your body working, performing better, and being able to rid itself of waste at an easier rate. So the full purpose of the cleanse is to clean out all your major eliminative channel. And that's your gallbladder, your heart, your liver, your colon, your spleen, your lungs, your kidneys, your adrenal glands, your blood, and your skin. So it's going to help you flush out all the impurities in those particular areas, similar to the way your colon is reacting for you right now.
And I'm grateful. So people who want to be successful on the cleanse that are super busy, let's say entrepreneurs, what do you suggest they do as far as a regimen or routine, because they're on the go and they're trying to eat clean? What do you suggest that they do?
Prepare yourself.
Okay.
You know, you got to be prepared for this, and you got to be mentally ready for this. So therefore, if you know that you're going to be on this hour and a half trip to a different office or a different location, you know, that happens quite often in LA. If I'm trying to get to the valley, it might take me an hour and a half to get to the valley. So I need to make sure that I got, you know, my foods there. I got to make sure I have my herbs there so I can do this properly. So therefore, I don't find myself stuck, hungry, and next thing you know, my mind gets the best of me, and then I'm cheating on the cleanse. So I think preparation is key.
What do you suggest about out to eat on the full body cleanse?
See, I live in LA. I'm not sure. Where are you? I'm
in San Diego.
Okay, in San Diego. So there's great places in San Diego too. So what it is that we have raw food restaurants here. We have a lot of vegan places that have a raw food section on the menu. When you go into Whole Foods, there's a raw food section in Whole Foods. Right. So a lot of times, if you're in Alabama and these other places, you don't have that benefit because they cater to the demographic of people in those areas and what they actually will consume. LA, California is a really progressive place. So we're actually getting a glimpse of the future for the rest of the country here.
Yes,
so it's a different scenario for everyone else, but that's why I'm saying you can't let that limit you. You still got to do the work. So therefore, you know, going to Whole Foods, going to these stores and having those foods on hand so you can get through the cleanse is probably going to be your best bet if you're in, you know, an area that doesn't have all these wonderful things that California has.
Very true. I'm sorry, everyone else that doesn't live in California. Right. Listen to the podcast.
Right.
Hear a little bit more. So this is a question from Erica in Atlanta. She was like, let's talk about sugar. What does sugar really do to your body?
Okay, so think about sugar. It basically, it kind of corrodes your body in a sense. One thing that people say is that sugar is probably the number one drug on the planet, where a lot of people are addicted to it. It truly, truly affects you. It just kind of corrodes your system. You know, it's a quick, fast fix to get you through, but ultimately there's a real drop in energy proceeding afterwards. And it's just hard for your body to digest in general. Now, if you're talking about natural sugars versus man-made sugars, that's really the difference. So when you're getting sugar like fructose and things like that from fruit, that's a natural source. That's going to have a great benefit to your body. Now, chemicals and man-made sources of artificial sugars, those things are going to vastly affect you. And that's the difference between them as far as which one should you be looking for and which one is okay for your body. I always tell people, God didn't make any mistakes.
That's so true. Yeah. So what do you recommend as far as alcohol? There's no alcohol on the cleanse. So for the rest of your life, what do you view as like a good, healthy regimen if people like to indulge in alcohol? Look at your face. Look at your face.
I can't help people do wrong. What are we talking about? I don't drink. I can care less. I don't drink. Now, I may have a drink socially because it makes people uncomfortable. Especially when I say I don't drink, and then people be like, "Oh shoot, I can't drink either." So I mean, I don't care about drinking. It's not a big part of my life. It's a very, very, very small part. And you got to understand what's in alcohol. I'm trying to be here for the next 120 years. I'm living this all out. So I just, I don't know how to tell people to drink better. I would just say, hey, make sure, keep it down, because a lot of times people do, let's say this. This is what I would probably tell people, and just so they are mentally kind of understand this. When life isn't so sweet, we look for sweetness wherever we possibly can. And oftentimes it's on a plate, or sometimes it's in a cup, or sometimes it's drug use, because you're trying to forget about what's going on. But ultimately, whatever you're dealing with, it ain't going nowhere. You're still going to have to, once you become coherent, you're going to have to deal with that particular issue anyway. A lot of times that's people reason for drinking. You know what I mean? It makes it easy for you to make that mistake. It makes it easy for you to do certain things. Hey, I was drunk, and all these things, So I don't really know how to tell people to do that. You know what I mean? To be honest, and that's just me being honest. I'm not a big drinker. I don't really care for it.
That's great. Thank you.
I'm happy. You want to learn how not to drink? Get happy. Lead a happier life.
On the podcast, I hope y'all heard what he just said.
Get happy. I'm happy.
Yeah. I
love everything that I do. I'm happy about life. I created my existence here, and I actually, I get paid and I get to help. How beautiful is that? Yeah. Similar to what you're doing. You have a great podcast here. I'm sure you have bigger aspirations for it, but you're giving off a great message. I'm sure you get tons of emails about the job that you're doing. It's nothing like doing something that you love. I'm happy. I don't really need to drink. And that's not to be sour on anyone's drinking habit, but just kind of understand that.
I've watched a lot of your interviews. I've read a lot of articles written about you. And just that, everything you just shared was like your entire heart.
Right.
Yeah. So thank you for that.
No problem.
Yeah.
I can only be me. I'm going to keep it 100. We're going to keep it 100 around here.
That's what we're doing on the SoulKation podcast. So for the yo-yoers of the world, what do you think the best way to keep the weight off for the rest of your life? Let's say my goal is to lose 25 more pounds. So I'm about to do the cleanse over again.
Okay.
I've lost 15 so far. So, I yo-yo. How do I keep the weight off? How do I keep it from coming back?
Let me tell you how I keep the weight off. Okay. Because you know what this is for me? I try to do something every single day.
Okay.
Whether or not it's walk up that hill, whether or not it's make it to the gym, whether or not it's denying myself certain foods because I feel like I might be doing too much of it. I try to do something every single day. But ultimately, the way to keep the weight off is change your eating habits. 80% of weight loss has to do with your diet. 80% of it. So if you're able just to control what you put into your mouth, you'll be able to control your diet. And then I always tell people, and that's the great thing about the cleanse, since you're on it, once you come off of it, really understand when you eat something, how your body responds to it, because it's going to be completely different now. You're a newborn now once you come off that cleanse, especially when you come off that 40 days back to back. Oh no, you brand new now. So anything that you put into your body that your body doesn't like, it's going to alert you. But now it's up to you to make a mental note and a long time goal to stop doing that.
Okay. All right. Okay. So what do you think is a good plate? How does my plate need to look moving forward?
Okay. So they say, first of all, your plate, as far as it should be nothing bigger than 2 fists. So that's just as far as portion size. Nothing bigger. There you go. 2 fists. That should be your portion size, believe it or not. We consume so much food in the United States, and it's too much. And a lot of other countries, if you ever notice, they're smaller than us. They're smaller than us. And it has a lot to do with the fact that what they're consuming and what they eat and portion size. I would always tell people having as much fruits and vegetables, raw nuts and raw seeds into your diet as possible is key. Now, if you do decide to eat meat or fish or anything like that, try to eat the cleanest product possible. That's what I'm saying. So no antibiotics, no steroids. Make sure it's clean. Because I always tell people, look, we're not eating the same foods that our great-great-grandparents used to eat. If you know, it's like my great-great-grandmother, she lived till like she was almost, I think she lived till she was 100 and something. My grandmother, she lived until she was 88. So if you ever notice, if anyone goes back in history and look at those parents, unless they, if they lived all the way, you know what I mean? And they didn't have any kind of accidents or anything like that.
Yeah.
They lived longer then because the quality of food was different. The processed food is drastically affecting us, and the steroids and the antibiotics and all these other things that they're putting into the food is vastly affecting us. And we're actually living shorter now.
Yeah, I agree. So this is another question from Tiffany. She is in Baltimore. So she says, what's more beneficial as far for women? Like, should it be more cardio or more weights? Or should it be intervals of both?
Okay, so I would say, what's your goal? Some people's goal is to gain more weight. Some people's goal is to lose weight. Let's just come from the place that she thinks that she needs to lose weight. Now, the one thing that we already stated, and I always like to break this down for people, is that 20% of weight loss is working out. 80% of weight loss is what you eat, so your diet. So always cardio is going to help you lose weight, period. So as much cardio and being as active as possible is going to help you lose, but it's never going to be greater than what you put into your body. The one thing that me and Steve always talk about, he said, look, you can't outwork a bad diet, period. I don't care how much weight you lifted, how much you running, you ain't going to be able to beat that bad diet, especially when you understand the ratio. And like I said, the ratio is 20-80.
I agree. My problem definitely is sugar. If I could just break the sugar.
But I'm telling you, when you come off that cleanse, we have a formula, a sugar formula. Take that after your cleanse. Take that after, it changes the way sugar tastes. You're not gonna really be drawn to it as much. And coming off the cleanse that you're doing 40 days back to back, and you're only probably eating natural sugar as far as fruits, vegetables, and things along those lines. If you try to eat certain things, it'll be too overwhelming for you.
Yeah.
It'll be too overwhelming for you. Like a long time ago, I used to be addicted to soda. I love soda. Soda was, talking about drugs, that was my drug. I would drink soda than eat food. I would rather drink soda than eat food. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. So when I came off the cleanse, I tried to have a soda. When I first did it 15 years ago, I tried to have a soda. It tastes like acid to me. It completely changed my taste buds. And that's something that you're definitely going to experience when you come off the cleanse. If you do have something really, really sweet, it'll be a bit overwhelming. And that's why I tell people, listen to your body. Your body, you have this internal clock and you have this internal brain within your system that kind of tells you everything that you need to do. You just got to listen to it.
For those of you who want to lose weight and get your bodies in order, he is dropping so many nuggets. Now we're going to pivot for the business owners that listen to the podcast.
Okay.
So you were able to scale your business. What was the ratio or the timeline? Did you release the first 2 or 3 years and it was kind of slow? When did it start picking up like a pace or something?
Just like any business, you didn't pick up till I figured out, 1, what I had, 2, how to market it. Okay. So once you learn how to market it within your space without going broke, then that's the key. And for me, a lot of times, what we did, because my brother has a degree in marketing, but even with that degree, it's trial and error. It's trial and error. And you know, I'll tell you about my first experience. So my brother came across, we were, you know Kathy Hughes?
Yes.
So Kathy Hughes owns Radio One, and she owns TV One too. Yes. So Kathy Hughes, they had offered my brother this deal to do a radio show. So my brother came to me and he was like, yeah, the radio show, they want us to do it. It's going to cost. Now, we're like year 3 into the business. We're not really doing that well. We're struggling. So he's like, it's going to cost $12,000. Now, at the time, my business was only making about $60,000 a month. And I was like, it ain't no way in the world I'm going to give these people $12,000. I was like, nope, we're not doing it. That don't make sense to me. And then a week later, he comes to me. He's like, okay. They said they'll do it for $11,500. I was like, man, I don't care what they say. I'm not doing it. He kept coming. They had got down to $9,500. So they wanted me to give them $9,500. So I told my brother prior to that, I said, look, if they get under 10, I'll give it a shot. They had worn me down. So I did. We finally invested into the radio show. My brother put together a cohesive plan that he felt like we could be successful. We were going to advertise on the radio for a month. We did that first interview. Our business doubled overnight. And it just goes that sometimes you got to step away. And you got to let someone else do the thinking. And that's what it woke me up to. And there's amazing opportunities out there. But sometimes just in our head, we think that's too much. But guess what? To be honest, it was too little. Because we had literally in a month went from doing $60,000 a month to doing 120. So, and we did radio ads. And also just for the young people who don't believe in terrestrial radio, it's still effective and it's a lot cheaper. And the ad that we did was we would do 2 interviews, one when we start and one in the middle. And in between there, we did live reads. So that's just a little nugget for all business out there. We never did regular commercials. When a commercial come onto the radio, you start hearing these series of commercials. We did live read in station. And that means when the host is talking, all of a sudden they'd be like, hey, how about that cleanse? I think we're going to do that cleanse. It comes in the middle of that conversation. So people can't run away from it because they're already engaged with the host. Yeah. So then they start hearing that information and it begins to pierce through. So that's what we did. So just like I said, sometimes you got to step away and really give certain things a chance. And by me giving that thing a chance is the reason why we're here. Because every time we went from doing, I think at that time for that particular station, they only had 1 million listeners. So then if you notice a few years later, I jumped to Steve Harvey and he had 10 million listeners. And then next thing you know, wow, okay. So the result I was getting over here became 10 times that. So it just became more and more. And that's when you just got to kind of open up yourself to trying different things. So as an entrepreneur, you should definitely try different marketing strategies and you'll be able to find out what's working for you.
And I see you work with your brother. So for people that are looking for a number 2 or somebody to come alongside them that's not going to use them or steal their idea and just trusting somebody with your vision and your heart, because that's really what it is. What would you say to that person trying to bring somebody alongside of them?
I would tell that person is no one does it by themselves. Period. No one does it by themselves. And I would never pick anyone that's like me. My brother is not like me. He thinks differently. I want different people in the room. I don't believe that my thoughts are all right. And they're not. You know what I mean? You need other people to bring different ideas, to expose you to different things, and it helps you transcend the way you think about certain things. Yeah. So it's the reason why we're here. I always tell people, look, we had a great product, but without my brother being my guy that I trusted and believed in, and he had this vision, without that, I don't think that we would be here right now. So my brother definitely helped me keep pushing the business above and beyond. And it helped us get here, for sure.
Shout out to your brother.
Absolutely.
So as far as budgeting, were you always great with money? Did you have to bring somebody in, or how did that work?
As far as budgeting, we brought someone in. So this is the difference. So, and that's why I'm talking about all these unique people in the room.
Yeah.
I'm able to run the business. So I'm the CEO, I run the business. We had to hire a CFO to come in and control the finances because my brother, he was into marketing. Marketing people, they spend all the money. They think it's going to all come back. But so therefore, you need all these people in the room to come up with a cohesive plan that we feel like that's going to work. Is, just one person is not going to always do the trick. So we brought in the CFO. Her name is Katerina. She's wonderful. She controls the money, and she helps. She said she helps us pick what products to push, what's going well, what products to eliminate, and all those kind of different things. So it's definitely a group effort when you run a business, and you have to be willing to listen. And I'm always willing to listen.
I love it. Last question before we do the rapid soul questions. Since you've gotten yourself to a place of, I would say, prestige, and a couple thousand people, trillion people know your name. How do you keep yourself spiritually and emotionally grounded?
Well, I have a very, very strong family background, and I got my mother. My mother don't let me get out of control. So anytime I start getting above and beyond myself, she'll definitely reel me back in. But also I'm surrounded by my family. Like I said, my brother's a part of my business. My sister, she has her own company that's much, much bigger than my company. So I have a unique people around me, and I have people that I trust. And if I start to trip or I'm starting being weird or whatever it is, they'll definitely reel me back in. So you definitely need people around you that will be honest with you, that you know in your heart has your best interest in mind.
I agree. Okay, rapid soul questions. You have to answer these, and the first thing that comes to your mind, just spit it out.
Okay. I don't know if that's going to be good for radio or TV.
It's good. It's good. It's my favorite part. Okay. Name one person you think is really funny.
Dave Chappelle.
Okay. The last song you listened to.
The last song I listened to? I don't know. I was listening. I wouldn't. Middle Child by J. Cole.
Okay. What dessert can't you live without?
I don't like dessert. I can live without all of them.
Really? That's not fair.
I could care less about dessert.
That's not fair.
I've never had like cake. When I see cake with a bunch of frosting on it, I'm ready to run out the room. It's too sweet for me.
Okay. What about meat? What meat?
I don't really consume a large portion of meat. If anything, maybe fish. I eat a lot of salmon. So I'm more of a pescatarian than anything else. But even then, I probably only eat meat maybe once, maybe twice a week. That's it.
Okay. What product must you use every day besides your phone?
What product? The product that I use probably every day is, or at least close to every day, is my colon formula. Believe it or not. Because I really believe, the more that your body can rid itself of waste, it keeps you as healthy as possible.
Nice. Okay. What's one book that you believe everyone should read?
Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Is that the name of it? I think everybody should read that one. Read that book.
Guy Kawasaki. Yeah. If you could go to dinner with anyone, who would it be?
Obama or Jay-Z. Give me one of those. Obama figured out something amazing. Jay-Z, he became a billionaire and he started from the bottom. I understand that because I came from the bottom. And Obama, because he became president and he was able to deal with all that criticism and still smile. So those people are truly, truly unique for me.
I agree. Okay, that's our interview with Mr. A.D. Dolphin. Make sure you all check him out. Have so many products online, Dherbs.com. Make sure you share this episode with your best friend, and we'll see you on another episode of the SoulKation podcast. Thank you so much, A.D.
Absolutely. Have a good one. Bye-bye.